Tonight on Enterprise, we bring you the story of an Ohio corporation which is facing up to the challenge of the age of space. Good evening. Tonight on Enterprise, we have as our guest Mr. Walter S. Sparling, President of the Ohio Bell Telephone Company. Mr. Sparling, it's a pleasure to have you on Enterprise.
I certainly enjoy being on your program, indeed.
Thank you. Well, Mr. Sparling, let's begin with sort of a personal question. How long have you been associated with Ohio Bell Telephone?
Well, I've been with Ohio Bell since the day it was born. I've been with them 38 years.
Was that right? And how long have you been president now?
About 2 years.
Since Mr. Green's retirement.
That's right.
Well, you are successor to a grand man, too.
Yes, sir.
Well, Mr. Sparling, we are interested in what Ohio Bell's plans are for the Dayton area in the coming year.
We're going to spend in Dayton about $7 million this year, a lot more than last year. We have great confidence in Dayton for the long haul.
Gee, you must. What about last year, though, which was sort of a recession year?
Well, last year, although we only gained about 3/4 of the normal gain of telephones, we carried on the largest construction program in the history of the Ohio Bell Telephone Company. We build for the long pull. We just can't build for a year ahead. We have to look at 2, 3, and 4 years ahead.
This is typical of Ohio Bell's continued confidence and optimism in Ohio's
That's
growth.
right. Great state.
Well, we opened our program this evening by speaking of the challenge presented by the age of space to all businesses, large and small. What are some of the products which your company has been developing in the recent years?
Well, we're moving right along in developments, and today's modern instrument is obsolete tomorrow. So I'd like to show you some of the new things that are coming along in the telephone industry.
That'll be fine. You just step right over and take over.
Now, the Ohio Bell, your telephone company, is going to be introducing this little set this year. It's called a bedroom telephone. You'll notice it's very small. The ladies like this because they like a small telephone on the end table and on the nightstand so they can put the lamp on there and the alarm clock. This also has a little on and off button here that can turn on and off a night light. So the lady, when you're away, men are away, can dial the numbers in the dark because the light lights up when she takes the receiver off the hook. This will come in pastel colors, and it's a very neat, modern little set. We have introduced at the first of the year another set here called the Call Director Set, designed for secretaries and businessmen who have to answer a large number of lines. This set will come in different colors, and it'll also come in a 18-button set, and it'll come in a 30-button set. This set has some very important features. For instance, if you call a party and they're busy, you do not have to hang up and call again, but just hang on, and it has what it calls a camp-on feature. The minute he hangs up, why, your call will come right in the minute he releases the line. We also, by dialing a code here, can set up a conference circuit and hook 5 people together on a preset code. It also has what they call an add-on feature, so that if you answer a call and you want to add someone on to the line to talk with the person calling you, you can add them on. And if you want to get off the line, you can get off and let the person you added on talk to them. This set is on the market at the present time. In this modern day of electronics, the old-fashioned way of dialing is going to go out, and we're going to move towards a push-button type of dialing. I'm going to demonstrate the difference in speed between dialing the way we do today and dialing the way we will be dialing when we come to electronic switching sometime in the 60s. This is the regular type telephone used today, and I'm going to dial up a number, and you'll see how long it takes me to dial it on this timing device above me here. That took 21 seconds. Now I'm going to dial it on the push-button dialer, the new type that will come along with electronic switching. That took about 5 seconds. So So you see it takes about a quarter of the length of time to dial on the push-button dialer versus dialing with the wheel that we have today. That will be the setup tomorrow, will be push-button dialing. The bell on the setup tomorrow will sound a little different than the bell on the set today. I'm going to let you hear the present bell and then the bell of the setup tomorrow. Here is the bell today. Here's the way the bell will sound in the setup tomorrow. Actually, it's not a bell at all. It's an interrupted tone. It comes out through a horn. So I guess Ohio Bell had to change its name from Ohio Bell to Ohio Horn because we won't have a horn bell anymore. It'll be a horn in the new type of set. I'm now going to demonstrate a different kind of a telephone call than any probably you've ever heard.
Control office, this is Jane. I have today's inventory report for you. I'm ready to start. Hello? Hello? Received okay. Is there anything else? No, that's all. Thank you. Bye. Bye.
You've just heard a recording of the sending of data by telephone called data telephone. During that 16 seconds, I sent from this position here in Chicago to the position over there of New York. All this data over the regular telephone line took 16 seconds. I sent the complete inventory position of 150 items in a supermarket. What happened is this, that the data over here coming from any kind of a business machine is converted through this machine, sent over the line, reconverted at that end, and fed into a business machine at the other end. You can see from this exhibit that your telephone company is involved in national defense. All other items of operation is subordinate to our activities in the defense of this country.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sparling, for being a very interesting and informative guest today on Enterprise.
Thank you. I enjoyed being on your program very, very much indeed.
Mr. Sparling is in Dayton this week to attend and speak to a Dayton and Springfield District Supervisors Conference.
Yes.
And we especially appreciate your willingness to take time out of this busy schedule to be our guest.
Thank you.
Visit again soon.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, and until next week when our program will be brought to you by your local Cadillac dealer, Simon's Cadillac at 530 North Main Street, and Rubicon Cadillac at number 1 Oakwood Avenue. Thank you, good night, and good business.